Hello, good morning, everyone.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's session. We are going to talk about the latest addition to our SmartNode family, the high density analog gateway. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Jennifer Staub. I am the account manager for the Americas. And also we have today Mark Aberhart on the session. He is the VoIP product line manager responsible for the SmartNode product line and leading most of the session today.
Very good. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Warm welcome from my side. This is Mark speaking. I'm happy to have you all in today's session, and I'm very excited to talk about our latest addition to the patent SmartNode family. So our high-density analog gateway, the FXS gateway we're going to talk about today. And I'll just kick it off here. We're just gonna start with a small agenda, small overview, what we're gonna cover today. I'm gonna start with a quick introduction into the analog gateway portfolio, just for you guys to understand where the new product fits in actually, but then we're gonna go right away into the use cases. Right into the use cases where this product fits into. So a few information there, and then most important part, the characteristics of the 4740, a few things about the provisioning and orchestration, so that you see how this nice device is going to be configured and managed once it's in operation. And then towards the end we're also going to do a Q&A. However, feel free to post any questions in the panel that you have, so we'd be more than happy to answer these during the session, but then for sure at the end for the dedicated Q&A. Good, let's get started here. The patent analog gateway portfolio. So as you probably know, a lot of products we have there for basically every use case that you can think of, we have the right product. So starting from a very low port count, starting from one, basically the SN200, so the product we've introduced just recently there, and now with the latest addition, the 4740, that's the new model code we're talking about today here, which is going to cover up to 32 in the first phase, and then in a second phase up to 128 analog ports. Now, how this lines up in terms of the different products that we have there, or the different model SKUs, let's say. So we're going to cover a lot, actually, as you can see here. Basically, with our solution, you're going to get the exact right number of ports. So there is not too many nor too few as it stands here, and with that, you no longer need to stack multiple units on top of each other if you're going to require more than, let's say, 48 ports, which is quite common in the industry. So with our product line, you're going to be covered starting from basically one port, as we saw before, but within the 4740 product family. So it's going to start from 16 port going up to 128. So you choose which number of ports you're going to need for your install. This product is a high availability product in terms of the service it's delivering. So it comes with dual power supplies as an option. So you decide if you just want to get it powered with one power supply. Maybe makes sense for the 16 port version where it's maybe less critical in case of a power supply failure. However, if we're talking about the bigger unit, the 128 ports device, so a redundant power supply solution becomes even more important. Then there is an option on that device for a integrated K21 approved surge protection. So that's helpful, as we're going to see later, for use cases where phones are installed or distributed across a campus. So where in case there is a lightning strike, so that the ports on the device are not going to get damaged. And of course, it's coming with the latest software version running on our devices, which offers a big variety of features there in terms of survivability, everything available there, and managed out of the patent cloud. It offers notification and alerting functionalities. Then software upgrade path. So this device is being delivered as a gateway, pretty simple. However, because we have the same operating system running on this device like on the other smart nodes, so there is a software upgrade path. In other words, this device you can make a ESBC as well, IP routing functionality you can add by just a few mouse clicks in terms of unlocking the feature from the cloud correspondingly. Now let us talk about the use cases that are out there where this type of product is a good fit or even a perfect fit there. So I'm starting with the hospitality markets. So whether it's like hotel or motel kind of application. So this device helps to address the needs of this industry, let's say. So even today, almost everything is based on IP. So the term all IP quite common there, but for the hotel industry, that probably doesn't apply that much, as the hotel telephone, the hotel room telephone, isn't being used that much anymore, as every guest has its own mobile telephone with all the apps that you require. So there, it makes sense to keep the simple and cheap, let's say cost-effective analog telephone sitting in the hotel rooms, but still somehow those telephones you need to integrate in your all IP or UC solution. So for that, we have the SmartNode 4740, which works very well into that use case. So it integrates IP PBX systems, SIP phones. Let's say if at the front desk there is a SIP phone, so it integrates to that, and yeah, managed from the cloud. There's a lot of features that helps for a cost-effective operation of such a hotel. An important feature that is part of that product is the MWI, message waiting indication functionality. So that means this little lamp on the hotel room telephone. So this lamp can be turned on in case there is a voicemail waiting for the guest. And as indicated here, we support all the three major methods of turning that lamp on. And of course, there is a lot of other functionality. So you can create ring groups in the configuration of that device. We have specific features for E911 call handling, so that such calls can take precedence and drop any other regular priority calls, and much more. Another use case is for service providers. So especially these days where the PSTN as such is being terminated, like your T1 line or your analog line from the service provider is being terminated because of the switch to all IP. So in such a case, still you could remain keeping your clients' telephones in the apartments as indicated here, and replace or put a device like a 4740 into the street cabinet or even into the basement of the building to still provide the simple voice services coming in through a SIP trunk on the WAN side, but still at the customer premise side, nothing has to be changed, as still the analog telephones can be used. And there is more to that. So having such a CPE there, it offers a upgrade path in terms of software features that can be loaded onto that device, for instance, to make it capable of handling SIP registrations coming from SIP telephones being installed at the customer premise. Good, then yeah, there is other use cases where we see the new product being a perfect fit. So there is analog telephones in the form of like emergency telephones distributed across the campus. connecting all those and integrating them into a UC solution. So here the SmartNode 4740 is a good fit, or if we're talking about hospitals or school campuses, so there this product fits in very well. Another important point to be mentioned here is, as we are probably talking long distances in terms of analog lines, where at the end of this analog line still the telephone needs to be rung. So there we can drive the power or deliver the power that is required to ring the telephone at the end of the line for a distance that goes up to 6.2 miles. So that's quite a distance there, and it applies basically to all of the ports. So the total amount here, 128. So that's quite a big number. Another use case we see here, or basically another industry, is the industry actually. So whether it is for mining sites or oil and gas platforms basically, or yeah, other use cases where especially some ruggedized option is going to become important. So that's something that is coming soon on that device as well. So that allows you to install the voice over IP gateway even outside of a building where it's exposed to very low or very high temperature ranges, for instance. Good. Well, the SmartNode products, just to highlight again, it's not just a simple gateway. It can be more. So as I said, it's manageable or orchestrated out of the patent cloud, which adds a lot of values to the product, but also to your solution that you're building for your clients. As for instance, out of the patent cloud, you can manage the device for a simple gateway to become a enterprise session border controller, so that will allow you to have your client SIP phones registered to that device, so that it acts as some kind of mini PBX. And there is more things that we can do, or that we basically have. So we have the expertise for creating hardened devices, such as this model here, where this device can go into outside environments where it's exposed to high temperature ranges, as I've mentioned before already. And with that, we open up the door for additional use cases to be addressed with those products. And yeah, besides that, we can also act as an IP router, and there is much more functionalities that we support. And again, to be mentioned, a unique point that applies to our analog gateway products and SBCs. So we can drive a lot of power there to ring a telephone that is as far as 6.2 miles away from the gateway.
So Mark, we have a couple questions out there. Is the 4740 certified with certain security applications, working with various service providers, as well as fax or machine-to-machine communications?
Right, that's a very good question. So here we benefit from having the platform approach in terms of software. So that means everything that we've certified with the products that we already have in our portfolio also applies to this product. So we're using the same SIP stack, we're using the same core router functionalities. So everything applies to that product as well.
Okay, and another question. Oops, sorry, go ahead.
You could just one more addition to that. So you're going to see it later. I have a few slides there that is talking about that. One example, integration into 3CX. So that's another key point in that respect.
Okay, and the other question is the 4740 Class 1 Division 2 certified?
I'm not familiar with that term, so that's something I'll have to look up and get back.
All right, that's it for right now.
Okay, very good. Yeah, well then let's talk about the gateway specs that we have there. So the hardware as such is going to be available in two different flavors. So you can get it in the flavor with the telco connector, so the 50-pin RJ21 connector, or with the RJ11 connectors directly built in. So as you can see on the images on the top right, so that's quite new. Up to now, our IP channel banks are higher density analog gateways. We're using the telco connectors only. So now it's your choice in terms of what the requirements are for your clients. So which one you want to go for. Yeah, there is 2 gig Ethernet ports on that unit, so which would also, if needed, support IP routing for whatever use case that could be useful. And it's coming with the USB port, so very useful connecting a 4G USB modem to it for survivability purposes. In terms of the voice over IP part, the codecs it supports, so that's the ones that we have available on our other analog products as well. So that's there on the list. An important point to be mentioned here, as we're talking about analog telephony, the old technology, let's say, you're going to be facing echo from one case to the other, maybe. At least that's been our experience, and to cope with that, that device is providing a cancellation of an echo that can be up to 128 milliseconds long. So that's quite useful, which really helps to provide a great experience to the end user. Just trying to pick out the highlights here of that product. So again, the long reach, which is standard, so we can provide the power there for a cable length up to 6.2 miles and still meet the requirements of 3 REN at the end of that line. MWI is supported for all the 3 different methods, so including the high voltage method to turn on the message rating indication lamp on the hotel room telephone. And again, on the IP part, there is a standard on all the latest products that we have, dual stack. So we support IPv4, IPv6, either or, both at the same time. Everything is possible there, and that also applies to the SIP communication. So also our SIP stack is capable of handling IPv6. And the upgrade path, I think that's also quite important. So it's not that this device just sits there and acts as a simple gateway for the whole product life cycle time, let's say. So there is a lot of options in terms of doing an upsell to your client at a later point if needed. With the software licensing we have in place, and which can be nicely managed, operated, and monitored out of the patent cloud. So there's a lot of options that helps to customize the solution where the smart node is being used. Now, talking about cloud management. So basically what it is, I'm sure most of you are familiar with the patent cloud already. Just to highlight it again here. So what it is, it's a centralized system, which is there for a CPE orchestration, let's put it that way. In terms of CPE management, there is features available in terms of the software licensing I've mentioned before. So from that centralized platform, you can control which additional functionalities you would like to unlock on certain CPEs, or you can increase the number of SIP sessions for a certain client if that is required, and that all works with very easy with a few mouse clicks. There are tools part of the patent cloud that are helpful for providing customer support, customer service, where it allows to connect to the CPEs wherever they are installed worldwide, and if they are behind the NAT, for instance. So that's not a problem at all. So with that tool, you always get the connectivity back to the CPE, which is really helpful if there is something happening to the network of your client, if they're facing a problem. So simply connecting through the patent cloud so you can reach out to the CPE that is out there and run any kind of debugs. You can change the configuration and anything like that. Provisioning, zero-touch provisioning, or I should say the secure zero-touch provisioning that we have is also part of the patent cloud. And along with that, we offer easy setup of the smart nodes through cloud-based wizards, where the installation time can be reduced quite a lot. Just lately, we've added call quality scoring, call quality assessment, which is really a wonderful tool there. So with that, the system alerts you if a client is experiencing bad voice quality. So in that way, it allows you to interact proactively and resolve problems, even before the client can call you reporting a problem. And the solution has an API, of course, which is helpful integrating it with already existing OSS and BSS systems.
So Mark, real quick,
Sure.
I have a question out there. If our customer's environment requires us to be standalone, is there an on-prem only option to manage the devices versus patent cloud?
In terms of, let's say, standalone isolated network management on-premise, of course, we still support the industry standard interfaces in terms of management. So all of our devices support SNMP version 3, basically. So we support TACACS, there is Radius. So yeah, all these standard kind of interfaces that are helpful for managing devices are still out there. And on top of that, to bring in the functionalities that we have on a patent cloud, so there we do also offer on a project base putting the patent cloud on premise. So it's not an off-the-shelf product, but still on a project base we can do that. So if there is a need for that, just give us a call, send us an email. We'd be more than happy to define the project there in terms of what is needed in that sense.
Great. And is there a full CLI?
Of course, the CLI is still there in terms of standalone, as well as the web interface. So that, of course, we didn't remove. So we basically just kept everything that was there, everything that was appreciated. But in addition, we put some very nice things on top of everything that was there, which is basically what you're seeing here, the patent cloud.
Great, thank you.
Very good. Thanks for the question. Is there any more questions at this point, or?
We have some that we could probably go over them in the end.
Very good. Okay, I'll just continue here. So just a few snapshots here on the patent cloud. Yeah, basically the dashboard giving you the information about your installed base, about the CPEs that are managed by the organization you belong to, giving you the information about device status, which device models are actively connected to the cloud, device software information. And in terms of software, so the patent cloud gives you the possibility to do software upgrade campaigns, so which is a big time saver actually, compared to doing that one by one for each of the CPEs. And the call quality monitoring functionality, part of the patent cloud. Again, just a quick view here on how that looks like. So it gives you the information from where the call was originating from, what was the destination, and then you're going to get information about if the call was successful, what was the audio quality, and also the duration. And at the bottom you can see that there is even more detailed information about the call flow, including the messages of the call setup there, which is quite helpful if you need to pin down a certain problem, so in case the call quality is bad. The patent installation, I just would like to spend a few minutes here. I think that's quite important. So with all the functionality we have available on the patent smart nodes, it's also quite important of how do I get control on those configuration options. And in terms of doing an install, there is a configuration wizard option that we have, which helps to reduce the complexity doing a configuration for a smart node. So with that, you can choose based on the use case or based on the carrier, for instance, service provider, which wizard suits best for your use case, and then the installer can basically just run through the wizard, which is quite easy, as indicated here by the screenshot that I took, and it basically applies to all of the smart node products, just to be listed here, so that you can really make that easy. The way it works, there is two options. So basically you can find a list of wizards that we have done and some of our partners have done on the patent website. You can either execute them there, generate your configuration file, which you can import into the device, or you can install the wizard itself on the device, so that once the device gets shipped to at the customer premise, that the installer can run and execute the wizard there on the device itself. In terms of certifications, as I said at the beginning, because we are using the same platform here on that product, so all the certifications we've done lately also apply to that unit. But of course, we're also making sure that it's being well represented into other systems. I picked the 3CX as an example here. Basically, the SN4740 we're talking about here is going to be part of the 3CX v16 update 6, so that's the plan. But up to now, there is the majority of the smart node products included in the 3CX template. So again, that helps to make an installation fast and easy, and that there are no problems with the installation. Along that lines, zero-touch provisioning, we just touched it briefly before. Just wanted to highlight the options that we have available there. So most important thing there, it's secure. We are doing mutual authentication through certificates using HTTPS as the protocol there. So that's quite important for redirect functionality, that is. But at the same time, there is also the option to optimize the setup in a way that the provisioning server of the patent cloud can be used. So with that, you're skipping actually one step. So again, the configuration and the download of the configuration is again easier. Of course, there are other options that we can do. So we can even create your custom factory config if this is wanted, and other options like the HCP option 66 are available with our products. Good. So to almost ramp it up here at that point. So wanted to give you a quick overview here on where we stand in terms of availability. Again, there's going to be there is two versions actually, RJ11 port version and the RJ21 port version. So the RJ11, 16 up to 32 ports. So there we are ready to taking your orders. Shipping we expect to be happening in May, so quite soon actually. And for the RJ21, that's just gonna come next, as well as the higher density, so 48 up to 128 ports for both RJ11 and RJ21. So there we're gonna be ready in about a week or two to take your orders there. Good. Yeah, and again, the certification related, and we had a question before, so I just picked up the 3CX before, but also here, same again, platform approach, so you can actually benefit from all the certifications we have done, whether it's for Unify, for Microsoft Skype for Business, and the Teams certification that is coming up soon, Alcatel-Lucent we've done just recently. And yeah, as you can see, many more we've done in Interop with, so that's again a benefit in a way of how our product line is set up in terms of the smart nodes. Good, then let me ask you, Jen, if we see any more questions.
Yes, we have a couple questions.
Okay.
Let's see here. Have the patent gateways been tested against Cisco Unified Communications Manager?
Yeah, well, actually, many times we've done that. So I'm aware of several projects where we've used the patent smart nodes together with a Cisco Call Manager.
Okay, and also question was Microsoft Teams?
Right, so we just touched that before quickly. So with Microsoft Teams, it's like that. So we're currently busy doing a certification for Microsoft Teams, but at the same time, we've responded to customer inquiries, which means that we've done installs already together with Microsoft Teams. So mainly that was integrating a IPPBX with Microsoft Teams and a ITSP. So like the three different legs, we aggregated together on a patent smart node acting as an ESPC, and on top of that also the gateway thing, so connecting a fax machine, let's say, into Microsoft Teams ecosystem.
Okay, and do we have dates for the ruggedized units?
So in terms of ruggedized, so already available today, we can offer up to 8 analog ports, and the what's the high density product line is concerned, there it's gonna be Q3, Q4 of this year. So that's gonna take a bit more time. So our main priority is to release the standard products, and then in the next phase, we're gonna be doing the ruggedized version.
Okay, and do we have a timeline for Teams integration release?
So that's, yeah, the timeline is as soon as possible, of course. So we're really working hard on that and getting that done. But there, I would expect to, get the piece of paper, let's say, with the rubber stamp on it, also in a similar time frame. So late summer, somewhere there.
Okay, and also 03365 Teams.
Right. So that's the same under the same umbrella, let's say. So 03665 Microsoft Teams. So yeah.
Perfect. That's what I have for now.
Very good. Thanks for that, Jennifer. With that, it brings us to the towards the end of our presentations today. So just again to highlight the values of our products. So really high quality is a big thing for us. So we're making sure that we're delivering reliable and stable products. So those of you already familiar with our products, I'm sure you can confirm that. Basically the interoperability, so you saw all the partners we've done interop with before. It's quite a lot there, and again, to emphasize on the one operating system approach, so every smart node is being configured the same way. So that really helps in reducing the time for installation, also reducing the time that might be needed to do troubleshooting in a network, in a customer network. And yeah, with the continuous software delivery that we have, so every 2 months, new software, including interoperability improvements, new features. So with that, it makes it a flexible solution that is secure, and with that, it makes you and your clients ready for all IP. Good. So unless we have any more questions.
I have a bunch more, Mark, that just came in, if you'd like
Okay,
to.
good.
All right, so will the 4970 or 4740 work with the old PBX phones such as Nortel?
Yeah, generally, yes. I would need to know some more details there, but generally it works with any analog system, which applies to Bellcore standard or to the ETSI standard, so the European one. Yeah.
Okay. And is there going to be a 48 volt DC or any kind of DC option available?
DC is part of the launch that we're planning. So starting from 16 up to 128 ports, redundant DC, wide range input actually. So from 12 up to 60 volts DC. That's part of the launch we're doing.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Is it cross-tested with Mitel My Voice Business?
So this one we haven't tested yet, but we do have other smart nodes that were tested, integrated with Mitel. So yeah, just reach out to us if you're if you're working on a project where this is required. So we can work together on that to make sure that all your requirements are going to be met with our products.
Okay. And as far as the cloud, when a configuration changes are made, does the device require a reboot?
It depends on the method, but generally there is no reboot required. So if you're doing any configuration changes through the patent cloud, so those changes are being done live, which doesn't require a reboot to be done.
Okay. And what is talk battery voltage? Ring voltage?
Can you just repeat that again?
It says, what is the talk battery voltage? Question mark, ring voltage, question mark.
The ring voltage, I need to go back to see the technical details there, but I know we can deliver up to 80 volts somewhere there. But to give more accurate information on that, I'll need to come back to you with that information.
Okay. And besides dual power supply, is there any availability improvements like pairing 2 units, one-to-one equipment redundancy, especially 128 port seems like a lot of ports to rely on a single device?
That's right. Yeah, for that we have developed a patent high availability solution in the past. So we're currently working on documenting that and make it available to all our partners and clients. So with that, it allows to operate 2 units in an active standby configuration. So that's a possibility, but there is also options in terms of how you do the configuration of the device to do a load balanced approach where one unit is only taking half of the traffic, which maybe less applies to a gateway device like this. That might be more of an SBC play, but in other words, there are solutions available to address that topic actually.
Okay, I have 3 more questions that came in. Must in building Cat3 cabling is not well isolated from power cabling. What has been done to migrate induced voltage currents on the FXS ports?
Right, so that's our K21 protection that is available on certain models. So they also going to be released in that launch. So with that, we can make sure, or it's basically, in other words, it's a secondary surge protection on that unit. So the primary protection still has to be done at the point where the cabling is coming into the building, and then on our device we provide the K21 standard secondary surge protection.
Okay. And how much isolation port to port on the FXS ports? How much probably isolation port to port on the FXS ports?
That's something I need to get back on you, so that's quite specific there. But yeah, that's certainly something we can answer
Perfect.
after the session.
And what is the best way to learn the wizard's customizability in depth?
There we have, I mean, there is different ways. So one possibility is the guide that we have available. So the wizard config guide. So that explains all the elements that are available building a wizard. We have a very detailed config guide, let's say, on the Pattern Cloud. So on how you can do cloud-based wizards. And yeah, as always, we're more than happy to get on a live session with you to teach you how this is working. And also, in addition to that, we have the Pattern Academy, which hosts a lot of videos and information on the product line and how things are being done. Yeah, a lot of documentation and videos are available there.
All right, that looks like the wrap up of our questions, Mark.
Great, thanks for that. And yeah, with that, there's just one more thing left here. Just wanted to say thank you for taking the time joining us today. And yeah, be more than happy to see you again sometime soon. And even more importantly, to work together with you on the projects you have where one of our products would help you addressing the needs of your clients. So again, thank you very much for taking the time. Wish you a successful and nice rest of the day. And of course, thank you, Jennifer, for your assistance. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks.